December 2025 new releases is full of romance, urban romance, contemporary romance, women's fiction romance, every kind of romance as long as it's Black. These books are dramatic, romantic, healing, and full of everything we love about storytelling. My name is Raquel. I talk about all things Black books. Welcome and welcome back. So in today's video, I am sharing 22 romance books. I'm going to read the synopsis and tell you whether or not I think I'd like to read the book or not. And then it's your turn. You let me know what you're going to be dropping into your TBR. Let's get into it. So the first book is Royce, the Handler, which is book number 6 in the Graylist series. So it's by Gray Huffington. It comes out on December 31st. What I've noticed about the books in the Graylist series is they let you know that they're going to come out, but they do not post a cover picture or a synopsis. So unfortunately, I don't have either one of those for you. But because there are some Gray Huffington fans or people who just want to know when it comes out or that it is coming out, I decided to add it. Next, we have XO Unlawfully Yours by Jaquel J. It comes out on December 25th. It is part of that whole Capadonna, Capri, Menace Caselli series. I don't know what this particular series is called specifically. What I've noticed about this one is it's the third time that it has a release date that's different from the last one, and it still has not come out yet. So if it comes up that there's another release date in 2026, I won't be announcing it. I'm just simply going to skip over it. But the synopsis says, right along with her brother, she had to grow up quicker than she wanted to, sacrificing life, or the life. It says the life, but it doesn't make sense. Anyway, she thought she would have to be there for her youngest siblings and step into the role that was always chosen for her. As a federal judge, Cora Caselli, or Judge Case, has built her career on being fair, sometimes tough, and about business within her courtroom. At 34, she's one of the youngest and most feared judges in the system, known mostly to her high-profile cases she's tried. When she presides over a trial of Kingston Steele, a handsome community activist accused of using his nonprofit to funnel drug money and being linked to the motorcycle gang Brooklyn Reapers. Her personal life and professional life start to tangle together. There's only one problem. Kingston Steele is her best friend's half-brother. Next, we have Loving Dangerous. It's by Cold. It says, imagine learning as a child how cruel love can be. And for that lesson, as well as being raised in the hood that teaches you love will get you killed, it hardens you, turning you into something sharp, something guarded, something dangerous. But what if fate has a sense of humor, allowing you the chance to relearn the lesson of love in its true form. And despite your attempts to fight at every turn, it won't let you go. Clicking back to the very thing you swore you would never feel again. You can try and fight love, push it away, bury it, hell, suffocate it if you want. But love doesn't listen to logic. It chooses who it wants, how it wants, when it wants. Even between people who shouldn't fit but do. Did I say when Cold came out? I'm so sorry. So Cold comes out on, Loving Dangerous by Cold comes out on December 21st. That's a maybe. A plus J, The Teachers of Hardwood High by Nina High. This one comes out on December 5th. It says, everyone at Hardwood High knows Miss Julie as sharp, funny, and full of life. But when the hall's empty and the lights go off, She goes home to a husband who spends more time in the yard than with her. Antonio Carter loves his wife, but something along the way, they stop knowing each other. Somewhere along the way, they stop knowing each other. What once felt effortless now feels like work. Julie, tired of waiting for him to notice, takes matters into her own hands. Her Christmas gift, a cozy weekend retreat in the mountains that's secretly an intensive couples retreat with scheduled therapy sessions and trust exercises. He thinks it's ridiculous. She's not sure if it'll help. But between the awkward icebreakers and laughter they can't quite suppress, and the long nights in front of the fire, something old and tender starts to stir. They've built a life together over 30 years. They've raised kids, loved grandkids, and weathered storms. But can years of distance really mend in just one week? Now, this one sounds extremely interesting. And next, we have Where the Secrets Find Solace. This one is by Kimberly Brown. It comes out on December 16th. It says, after 10 years behind bars, a woman walks free. But freedom comes with its own sentence in this bold and unsparing novel by national selling best author Kimberly Brown. After serving a 10-year sentence for killing her mother's boyfriend, Alea Chambers is finally free. But freedom comes at a cost, haunted by the abuse that landed her in prison and judged by a society that still sees her as a criminal. Alea must piece together a new life in a world that isn't quick to forgive. Determined to reclaim her future, she sets out to confront the ghosts of her past, including the woman who failed her the most, her own mother. Killian Lake, a successful attorney and Aaliyah's childhood friend, never forgot her or the signs he missed back then. When a colleague offers him a chance to help overturn Aaliyah's conviction, he doesn't hesitate. Reunited after years apart, the chemistry between them simmers beneath the surface. And while Alea keeps her heart guarded, Killian's steady support begins to chip away at her defenses. As buried secrets emerge and old wounds resurface, Alea must choose. Will she let her past define her future or embrace the love and justice she's always deserved? With Killian by her side, healing is within reach, but only if she's willing to claim it. That is a definite yes. I've been bumping into a lot of books where women are getting out of jail. I think I just read two books where women are getting out of jail. These two were recent. I think I read some last month. I don't know how many, but I'm sure I did. Um, I don't like that. I mean, of course, things happen, but I don't know. I don't think I like hearing about women going to jail like that. Next, we have With Sugar on Top. This one is by Lady Marie. It is an erotica. It comes out on December 22nd. It says, catch up with Sage and Benji almost a year after the events of Sugar. Sugar, as they spend their first New Year's Eve together and take yet another step in their ever growing relationship. This is a 65-word short story featuring the main characters from book one of Sugared and Spice series. Uh, that's enough. I don't particularly care for erotica um, because most of the regular book, I mean, just the regular romance has an overabundance of erotic scenes in it, so I don't need it to go any further. Number 7. A Taste of Sin. This one is by J.L. Seegers. It's a poly romance. Comes out on December 12th. It says, A Taste of Sin is the stunningly emotional and dangerously sexy conclusion to the Passion and Politics duet. Months after suffering a devastating heartbreak, Celine Taylor finds herself navigating the complexities of her new role as First Lady. While longing for the two men her husband is determined not to let her have, Secret Service agent Callan Drake and Lance Beckham. With their hearts on the line and threats pressed in from all sides, the Forbidden Trio is faced with the challenge of wading through the web of lies and shadows of deceit to find their way back to each other for good. It sounds interesting. I didn't read book one, and I'm pretty sure you got to read book one. And yeah, I don't know. I doubt it, but I'm not gonna say not because I like political thrillers or political. This one, I guess, is a political romance, so I like that. So I guess it's a possibility. Next, we have Where the Tightrope Ends. This one is by J. Nicole. It comes out on December 9th. It says, for Zuri Lee, the tightrope has always been a place of control. One wrong step means disaster, but nothing unravels her balance like Ace Richards. He's fire and shadow, silence when she needs words, carrying a past that lingers like smoke. When the struggling circus noir bets everything on their chemistry, Zuri and Ace are thrust together in a performance the audience can't look away from. But as secrets ignite and sabotage strikes, Zuri must decide, is love worth the fall, even when there may be no net below? Um, yeah, I don't think so. That doesn't really sound interesting to me. But I do need to read something by J. Nicole. I got some maybe earlier this year or late last year. I got like 9 free books from J. Nicole, and I have not read any of them, haven't read any of her work yet. And so I do want to at least look into her work and see if I like it. So, not this one, but I'm thinking one of them I'd like to read. Next, we have Always and Forever by Farah Roshan. This is book 2 in a series. I don't know what the series is. It comes out on December 16th. It says, in Guthrie. Okay. Excuse me. In Guthrie. Love isn't just found, it's forever. Felicia Phil Simmons has built her life around restoring the past. Her craftsmanship and eye for beauty have made her one of Louisiana's most sought after artisans. But taking on the renovation of Bell Mansion, a once grand bed and breakfast in her hometown, means more than reviving an old house. It means facing Jamal Johnson, the ambitious architect whose bold ideas test her patience as much as they stir something she isn't ready to name. He believes in innovation. She believes in preservation. But the more they clash over blueprints and late night plans, the harder it becomes to fight the pull between them. In the heart of a small southern town where history lingers and heart rarely rests, two people on opposite sides of a dream begin to blur the lines between rebuilding what was lost and reaching for something that could last always and forever. That's a definite maybe. It sounds very interesting to me. Yeah, that really sounds interesting. Just not really into contemporary romance, but I might give it a try. Next, we have The Way I Love You by Tina Martin, and um, this one comes out on December 5th. It says friendship, love, jealousy. Tiffany Waters has loved her best friend Reggie Howard for as long as she can remember. Reggie never seen her as more than a friend, and besides, he has a girlfriend. Deciding to move on from her infatuation with Reggie, she accepts her mother's request to go on a blind date with Derek Brooks, a successful and irresistibly charming marketing executive. Now that Tiffany has a boyfriend, Reggie suddenly realizes he missed out. Don't they always? He ends things with his girlfriend and sets out to prove he's the only man who deserves Tiffany's heart. Torn between the man she's always wanted and the one who's offering her everything she's never known she needed, Tiffany must decide which man she wants. Formally published under another man's treasure and can't just be his friend. Okay. And depending on when you read this book, Tina Martin has, I want to say, about 5 free books. So if you go on Amazon, go to Tina Martin, look up her books, you'll see that she has at least 5 free books. Um, Champagne Taste on a Bad Boy Budget. Now, this one is by Zuri Day. It comes out on December 30th, perfectly balancing sweetness and steam. Now, if you didn't know, Zuri Day is also, what is her name? I have to think about it and let you know. Hopefully, I can remember before the end of this video. She works under a pseudonym, so she writes other books, and the other books that she writes is Christian fiction. I say that very loosely. But I love those books. I have read that entire set. I love them. She has one called Taking Care of Business, The 10th Commandments, Letitia Lovely. That's her name. So Letitia Lovely and Zuri Day is the same person. So let's get back to this. It says, she's a good girl trying to rebuild her restaurant. He's a felon trying to rebuild everything. Second chances has never been so sweet. For Jamila Carver, a by the book entrepreneur with refined tastes, running her own restaurant has been a dream come true until she's buried in debt and without a chef. Her once bustling eatery on the brink of collapse. Enter Rashid White, a newly released ex-con who happens to be a culinary genius and likes to play by his own rules. With nothing in common but their love for food, the two clash at every turn. But when they're not bickering over menu items or cooking methods, neither can deny the attraction that simmers between them. After Rashad proposes a daring plan, they'll have to put their differences aside to work together. That's when things really start heating up in the kitchen. Can two completely different people from two completely different worlds find the perfect recipe for a fresh start and maybe even love? Champagne Taste on a Bad Boy Budget is a spicy, fast-paced romance you can read in one sitting. This sounds really good. I am so interested, and that is a yes. Next, we have Little Sweethearts by Shanora Williams. This is a sports college romance, comes out on December 30th. It says, from New York Times best-selling author Shanora Williams comes a deeply heartfelt romance about the tragedies that put our life on hold and the love that makes us want to start again. Javier Valdez hasn't had much luck with nannies, and he can't imagine this one will be any different. Octavia Klein is an all sass to his stoicism. Octavia Klein is all sass to his stoicism, free spirit to his hard work, but he's a widower, and with a career in the NBA, he can't keep doing this alone. Despite Javier's reservation, Octavia turns out to be the best thing for his 4-year-old daughter and for him, but he's reluctant to admit it. Javier swore off love after his wife died, and Octavia has her own reasons for avoiding relationships. As their bonds deepen, fast as their bonds deepen for past professionalism or even friendship, it's hard to deny the crackling tension of something more. They're both towing the lines they said they wouldn't cross, and when their paths come rushing back, there's no telling which way they'll fall. With old wounds reopened, can Javier and Octavia overcome the pain once again, or will their future together become just another scar? Yeah, that one sounds interesting. And next we have Now We Go Back. This is by Yvette H. It comes out on December 3rd. It says, and now we go back. Candace's story, part 3 of the And series, drops readers directly into the world of Candace Wade, a woman learning how to breathe again after a high profile, soul shaking divorce from Chicago Bears wide receiver Malcolm MJ Wade Jr. Once half of the Chicago's most photogenic couple, Candace is now preparing for life far away from MJ's chaos and public drama. She's stepping boldly into her soft girl, boss girl era with absolutely zero intention of falling in love. But life doesn't care if you're ready, and neither does love. Enter Dustin Jenkins, Houston born Major League Baseball superstar, smooth, traditional, quietly commanding, temptation wrapped in a 6'2" frame and a Texas drawl sharp enough to cut right through her defenses. The story opens in the present day, picking up exactly where And Now Things Change, Tori's story, ended. But after chapter 1, readers are pulled back in time, straight into the messy, magnetic, off and on beginning of Candace and Dustin's relationship. Their chemistry is instant, their timing is terrible, their connection impossible to ignore. All of this unfolds while Candace is still clawing her way through the emotional wreckage of a marriage the entire city watched crumble in real time. Luckily, she's not fighting alone. Her girls, Tori, Jordan, Tess, and Hillary, are right there through every tear, every laugh, every setback, and every impulsive decision because no woman survives chaos without her tribe. And now we go back is love, lust, healing, heartbreak, and undeniable chemistry wrapped into one explosive ride. A modern day second chance romance told with heat, humor, and the kind of drama that keeps readers up late night, flipping pages, needing more. Next, we have While We Wait. It's by Tatinda Nyanyiria. Forgive me if I mispronounced it. It comes out on December 6th. It says, in the fast paced world of New York record labels, Tess is sharp, ambitious, A&R rep in her Finding Me era, single, thriving, and focused on purpose, God, and discovering artists who move her. She escapes the noise of city by staying in Silverbrook, a small town where everyone knows everyone's business and where the quiet gives her space to grow. Cole, a talented producer and rising artist, also lands in Silverbrook after ending a long-time relationship of his own. Committed to a year of singleness, he's rebuilding his life, rediscovering who he is, and trusting God's timing while splitting his days between small town stillness and New York creative energy. While We Wait is a love story brought together by music. Tess and Cole don't fall into love, they walk into it. Step by intentional step through God's time moments and mutual passion for sound, artistry, and truth. As they grow separately and slowly, beautifully towards each other, they learn that the wait wasn't wasted. It's where you become who you were meant to be, and when love arrives, it feels less like an accident and more like a divine arrangement. Their story is proof that sometimes the wait is most transformative part and the beginning of the symphony only God can write. This sounds really good. I am totally interested. I am gonna get a piece of paper, a book, or something, even though I don't have a TBR because I can never stick to it. I'm gonna start writing down the books that I really, really want to read, so that way it doesn't take me a year to come back around to it because I forgot it or whatever. But this is definitely going on that list. Next, No Girl a Boy Could Love. It is by J. Allen Phelps. It comes out on December 16th. It is a coming of age story. It says young Tamara James battles severe arrhythmia and sickle cell anemia, and with no future to look forward to, takes pleasure in hooking up with any boy who will have her. But after graduating high school with honors, biggest 304 of Class 96, she flees Chicago. Turns out every bed, back seat, and closet she dirties push her further from the love and freedom she desires. So when Tamara arrives at Grandma Mary's house, she's ready to die. I don't know, this doesn't make sense, but I'm just going to read it. She's ready to die and embarrass the flames of hell. But when the stars aligned and well-spoken, clean-shaven California poet Maurice Hardin passed through town, Tamara is determined to hook up with him. Tamara could care less about the ring on his finger or the fiancé he'd hurt. She wants her night of pleasure. But unlike the score of thugs, jocks, and married men she's conquered in Chicago, Maurice Hardin holds fast to his refusal. And in his honor and fidelity, Tamara learns what it means to love. And in the heat of the southern summer, they light up the town in a would-be romance that will haunt them for the rest of their lives. In this African American fiction, Tamara Jones and Maurice Hardin provide us a fresh and authentic Black love story filled with forbidden romance that yearns to be respected. Yeah, I want to read that. I'm curious. I'm curious to see what she learns and, just the whole run through of this. It sounds interesting. And next we have Simply Complicated. It is by D.A. Young. Comes out on December 27th. It says, the feelings come as naturally as breathing to him, and he's not ashamed to show her or let the whole world know it. But Link is forbidden to her, according to her mother, whose big dreams for Savvy don't include him. He's off limits. Yet she's tried Yet she's tired of fighting her secret feelings, yearning for what she can't have. Since there's no stopping their connection, she finally chooses to embrace their truth instead. When tragedy strikes, she's forced, to walk away and don't dare look back. Last but not least, we have In Search of Autumn. This is book 2 in a series. I don't know the series. I don't know. The author's name is Michelle Davis Newell. This book comes out on December 6th. It says, fractured by loss, haunted by guilt, returning home means facing everything she left behind. Oh, that sounds good already. After a devastating divorce and career setback, marketing professional Autumn Gardner makes the last move she ever imagined. Returning to Ebonydale in Chicago neighborhood she spent years trying to forget. Okay, I do know this book. I wanted to read book 1, I just never did. Because I remember that little city Ebondale or whatever it is. Um, Back in the place where everything fell apart, Autumn can no longer outrun the ghost waiting for her. The friend she lost too young, the guilt that shaped every choice since, and Amir, her best friend, whose unspoken feelings have simmered beneath the surface of their friendship for far too long. Healing doesn't come with a roadmap. It comes in raw conversations with her sister and the familiar rhythms of her old community, and in finally facing the question she's been avoiding. What does it mean to be loyal to others when you've abandoned yourself? In Search of Autumn is a deeply moving tale of friends to lovers, second chances, and emotional healing. Perfect for fans of women's fiction, contemporary romance, and Chicago Stories. This novel reminds us that even after heartbreak, love still has the power to rebuild what was broken. Oops, got another one. This one is Winter with You, and it is by T.F. Bernard. It comes out on December 18th. It says their love began in spring, but winter was a way of revealing what's last. Noel Collins and Ezra Sinclair are finally stepping into a quieter season, one filled with warmth, intention, and the promise of something real. Instead, they're swept into a season of unraveling. Vivian's crisis become impossible to ignore. Family expectations grow heavier, and a new surprising connection begins to flicker between the two unlikely people caught in the same storm. As the world around them shifts, so do they. And love, one effortless, begins to ask something deeper. In a season marked by cold days, complicated truth, and mountains that test their certainty, Noel and Israel must choose not just each other, but the future they're willing to fight for. A warm, emotional black romance about partnership, timing, and what it means to stay when life grows heavy. Perfect for readers who love mature love stories, family-centered drama, and slow, steady burn that lingers long after the last page. So that was the last book. And I've told you which books that I think I'm going to read. Now it's your turn. Let me know what you're dropping into your TBR. Now, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and do all of the YouTube things. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Until next time, see you soon.